All right, Patrick, today we're going to take a look at a couple of outfielders. The first one up, Mike Morse in Seattle with his 7th home run of the spring yesterday. Interesting fun fact, he's chasing a Mariners spring record. He's chasing, who do you have? Mike Wilson had 8 home runs in 2009 for 2 points and a smiley face. Can you tell me who Mike Wilson is and where he is now?
I can't. I think that absolutely speaks to the importance of spring training stats.
He holds the preseason record.
Oh, good for him. He can join Jake Fox and Chris Shelton in the Spring Train Hall of Fame.
Mike Wilson's actually with the right team right now. He's with the Mets. He might be able to crack the outfield. He's got 27 career Major League at-bats. He's 148.
So he has almost as many spring home runs as he does Major League at-bats. That's good for him.
So how do you view Mike Morse?
Mike Morse is what he is, and I know it's a cliched thing to say, but he's a huge power bat playing in the wrong ballpark. Now he has to play out of position. His primary position should be first base, but now he's going to be playing in the outfield.
He's a moose, though. He can hit the ball out anywhere.
He can, but I don't like that transition. If you're going to play in any ballpark, Safeco is not the right one, especially for right-handed hitters. Left-handed hitters, not so bad. Right-handed hitters, it's just a black hole of power. So, I still think he gets 25 home runs and hits around 270, but what does that really get you in the Mariners lineup? How many runs is that? How many RBIs is that? Not many. Plus, he's not stealing bases.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just perception. He's kind of one of those muscle-bound guys, but it seems to me he's never really... 1 year, 2011, he's never... Did I miss something, or he's never in the lineup?
Never in the lineup. Always hurt. So, you have that as well. So, he plays that full season 2 years ago, and his isolated power that year, 50 points higher than his career average. So that may have just been a career year. So the real Mike Morse is probably somewhere a bit less than that. So like I said, 25 home runs you can probably expect out of him, but I wouldn't count on 100 RBI or a 300 average or anything like that.
All right, down the West Coast a little bit, we'll go down to Anaheim, and we have Peter Bourjos, the defensive-minded Peter Bourjos, who actually 2 years ago as a 23-year-old had a pretty decent year for a rookie. 270, 12 home runs, 43 RBI, and 22 stolen bases with 72 runs scored. And
he lost his job to some guy named Trout last year. Never heard of him before, but so here he's okay.
They've made a lot of room. Morales is gone from the batting order. Vernon Wells is gone. We'll talk about him in a bit. He's solidified. He is the center fielder. We got Hamilton in right, Trout in left, and
Bourjos in
center. Now, I don't know, just to not embarrass himself with those two guys there. Well, what is he going to do? What is he going to do?
Well, he's going to be the best center fielder in baseball. That's why he's in the lineup. He's going to hit ninth. He's going to have some speed. He has a pretty terrible average. 2 years ago, he didn't in his first full season. It's 271 average. It's not bad. The 2 years on both sides of that, 220, and that's not something you can have in that lineup. He may be able to score a few runs, and he's going to steal a few bases if he can get on base, which is not something he likes to do.
That was a full year, though. He had over 500 at-bats in 270.
It's 1 year.
The other years, it was...
It's 1 year.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's all he really played.
There's smaller samples on each side, but... I don't think he's necessarily draftable in mixed leagues. Maybe towards the end of a deeper league.
He runs, right?
He does run. If you need cheap speed, there's better guys with cheaper speed. Someone like Juan Pierre is a better outfielder with more speed, and he's going to play every day. And he's going to hit around 300, so that's a better player overall. And he doesn't hit ninth, he hits first, so he's just going to get more at-bats. AL only, though, he's someone that you can target for speed late, maybe runs late, and maybe he breaks out. In a mixed league, the best option you can do is just let him pass, leave him undrafted, and if he starts to break out after 2 weeks, then go pick him up. He's going to be available.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like, and maybe sitting on the bench and watching last year, he's had a chance to improve. He's still only 25 years old. Is his strikeout to walk ratio. The year he played full time, he had a decent baseline, but he struck out 124 times and walked just 32 times. It's like 4-1. So he had an on base percentage of .326, which is that was less than
that's pretty good though.
Trout's batting average.
That is, but 321 for a guy who's striking out 4 times every one walk isn't bad.
He's going to be in a decent lineup, even though he'll be batting ninth. So, but if he wants to score any runs, he's got to find a way to get on base.
Well, he's doing a much better job of getting on base than the guy who was previously there, Vernon Wells, whose on base percentage is around 250.
Let's move over to Vernon, who's now in New York, and you can tell how desperate the Yankees are, really.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad I'm not paying the $24 million, and here's the other thing: I'm glad I'm not paying anything for Vernon Wells on my fantasy roster at all. I can't imagine anybody being so desperate as the Yankees are and trying to fill a need that they draft Vernon Wells How could you be that desperate that you need him? What is he? What can he possibly do? You were in Toronto. You watched him play firsthand when he did hit the ball. What's the difference between when he was doing that and the shell of what he is now?
Well, he's clearly just broken down. And Vernon Wells used to be a 5-category guy, a 5-tool player. He's one of the best players in baseball at one point of his career. Those days have passed.
That's why he got the contract.
Those days are long gone. Now he's got the one league that I would say completely away from in any sort of mixed league. But if you're playing in NL only leagues, all mono league players know that guys who get at bats have value, and he's gonna get at bats. Now, whether he hits 220, maybe there's a little bit of a rebound season. I don't see it, but it's possible. Andrew Jones did it last year. Eric Chavez did it last year in New York. The one thing you can do though to maximize his potential and maximize his value on your AL only team is if you play in a daily league and you see that there's a left-handed pitcher coming up, he still hits lefties quite well, and he still does have a bit of pop in his bat.
Good point.
So if you can platoon him with someone else in your outfield and go day to day, but that's only in daily leagues. In weekly leagues, you're just not going to have that benefit and have that luxury. And if you keep him in for all 7 games, he's a guy who's going to destroy your average and not do much else.
Yeah, I imagine if he's hot, you can in daily leagues you can ride him for a week or so. So just to recap here with Morse, Bourjos, and Wells in the mixed 5x5. If you had to rank them in order of where they would go, none of them's going at the top of the draft.
No.
But it would be Morse, then Bourjos, then Wells?
Morse, Bourjos, and Wells. Morse is going around the same area as Carlos Beltran, Hunter Pence, that area. I like those other two guys more than Morse. He's just a power guy. If you need power around round 13, round 14, Morse is your guy. And maybe he has a bigger breakout season than I anticipate, and you're a big winner. I just don't see it happening. And the other two guys, basically undraftable in 12-team leagues, 14-team leagues. I know I play in a 16-team auction with a deep roster. Bourjos didn't go. Wells didn't go. So if they're there on the waiver wire and they're hot, go pick them up.
Did I just call him Bourjos?
Bourjos.
Maybe he's French.
Bourjos.